And now for our first pitch of the humanities track, Agile Ethics, presented by Stephen Kelts.
Thank you for having me here today. Agile Ethics is a suite of fast-paced role-play games designed to teach moral awareness to computing students. The students play roles on an agile engineering team. They might be the business analyst, the product manager, they might be the CEO of the company, and of course engineers as well. And some of the students in the audience play stakeholder roles like the board of directors of the company, tech writers for a magazine like Wired, end users of the product. Every role play is based around a real-world scenario gone wrong, where serious social problems were caused by a technology, but they're anonymized so that students immediately can't tell what direction they're headed as they make their technical or seemingly technical choices, only over the course of time for it to unfold in a problem that they need to solve. Our research into this, which you're going to hear about in a second, looking at hundreds of students in test and control groups, has shown that these role plays, unlike other types of ethics classes, and I want to underline that, unlike other types of ethics classes, which have been shown again and again not to do much with respect to the ethical thinking of students, these role plays actually move the dial on moral awareness. And the next step for Agile Ethics as a product is to become a gamified, app-based simulation run on mobile devices, paired with a suite of lecture videos and textbook materials for a very large computer science market, which we're about to tell you about. And that's what I would use seed funding for. We have to define the problem first. And you see many headlines here from the Harvard Business Review, Mustafa Suleyman of DeepMind, now Inflection AI. Even Trevor Noah is in on the game, telling us the problem in tech design is that emerging problems are unforeseen, unanticipated, and unintended. What would it mean to foresee the problems? Well, designers would need foresight and the ability to envision results before they happen. What would it mean for them to anticipate? Well, they'd have to have some judgment of causes as they affect things in the world, how they bring about potential problems. And to intend would mean for them to be able to intervene, bringing about more socially beneficial results. Design thinking has always been about this in many ways. Design thinking always telling us to empathize with our customer, not just to give them the product that they want, but to fit that product into a life which is good for them in many ways. Design thinking would tell us that we want designers to be aware of long-term consequences, cautious in the face of uncertainty about what their products might cause, that they should seek diverse stakeholder perspectives, and indeed that they should be ethical in their design choices and in the projects and goals that they set for themselves. Well, Agile Ethics has done this. We have found the Holy Grail. I'll tell you how we do it in our responses section here, but this indicates some elements of a psych study that we commissioned. Again, hundreds of students, and we'll have more results out on our table afterwards. Our students who went through Agile Ethics role plays, you'll see they're always represented by the left-hand side of the box. Yeah, from your perspective, the right-hand side of the box, right? They increased in their moral awareness, a composite measure of all of these elements, right? They went up in their desire for information seeking in the face of uncertainty. And in fact, they decided that they needed to hear diverse perspectives in order to continue with their design. And again, we walk them through this whole process through very fast-paced role plays where they take on roles and compete with each other. And our result has been moral awareness. This year, I have 0 seconds, so here's our market analysis. This year in 2023, 3 major computing organizations, international computing organizations, are releasing a brand new set of guidelines for computer science courses, which would indicate that within the very computer science classroom itself, responsibility should be taught. We think that's a gap. We think that computer science professors would welcome some help in teaching that, and we have role plays based on the specific technologies they're designing. And so if the thing could say negative 45 seconds, it might say that right now. I apologize for going long. I'd love to field any questions.